Paco Rabanne, Story of the Future, Fashion and Experimentation. Paco Rabanne, a name that embodies audacity, innovation, and a futuristic aesthetic that forever changed the world of fashion. He was not just a designer, but a true visionary who dared to defy convention, transforming the most unexpected materials into groundbreaking creations. Metal, plastic, even paper. In his hands, they were never just raw elements, but tools to reinvent the very idea of clothing. Every collection he unveiled was a provocation. Every runway show, a manifesto of pure experimentation. But fashion was only one of his many passions. Paco Rabanne explored art, architecture, design, and even writing, intertwining disciplines and visions into a boundless creative universe. By defying traditional norms, he built a bridge between the avant-garde and prêt-à-porter, blending innovation and experimentation into every creation and transforming each material into a new form of expression. His fragrances became legendary, his ideas always one step ahead of tomorrow. With his rare ability to merge haute couture with the avant-garde, he turned every runway into a spectacle and every creation into a journey toward the future. Let's uncover the extraordinary story of Paco Rabanne, a man who was never content with simply creating fashion, but with building entire worlds. A true revolutionary, he transformed dreams into reality, leaving behind a legacy that continues to move, inspire, and shape the future. Before we dive into the extraordinary story of Paco Rabanne, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Quotes of Style. Here, you'll find the most fascinating and inspiring fashion stories, along with quotes that shaped entire eras and styles. Hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you won't miss any of the exclusive videos. Thank you! Now, let's step into the world of Paco Rabanne and see how his futuristic vision, fearless experimentation with innovative materials, and constant drive to push boundaries completely transformed fashion, leaving a mark that will never be forgotten. Francisco Rabanne de Cuervo, better known as Paco Rabanne, was born on February 18, 1934 in Pasajes, a small village in the heart of the Basque Country. A place steeped in tradition, it would leave a lasting mark on his upbringing and ignite his creative spirit. But his life would soon be shaped by events that would carry him far from that tranquil world, propelling him toward an extraordinary future. Raised by a highly talented seamstress mother and a military father, his childhood was marked by a tragedy that would change his life forever, the death of his father during the Spanish Civil War. This loss forced him and his mother to seek refuge in France, embarking on the search for a new beginning. Upon arriving in Paris, Paco Rabanne and his mother faced the daunting task of rebuilding their lives in a completely new world. At that time, Paris was a melting pot of artistic and cultural influences, a vibrant hub of creativity experiencing a powerful revival after World War II. His mother, Lucia, secured a position as a seamstress in Cristobal Balenciaga's atelier, an opportunity that would play a pivotal role in shaping Paco's creative vision and introducing him to the artistry and elegance of haute couture. Growing up in such a rich and stimulating environment, Paco developed a profound passion for art, which ultimately led him to enroll in the architecture program at the École des Beaux-Arts in Paris. Although initially captivated by architecture, after graduating from the École nationale des Beaux-Arts in Paris, it was Paco's connection to fashion, nurtured in part by his mother's work at Balenciaga, that sparked his desire to revolutionize the industry, setting the stage for a career destined to make history. After completing his studies, Paco Rabanne stepped into the world of fashion with the energy of a young man unafraid to challenge convention. He began collaborating with some of the most prestigious fashion houses, Balenciaga, Dior, and Givenchy, designing accessories and jewelry. These early experiences allowed him to refine his design skills and cultivate an innovative vision, ready to push the boundaries of traditional fashion. His curious and daring mind began exploring new possibilities, blending the artistic knowledge he had gained during his studies with his creative spirit, laying the foundation for a career destined to leave an indelible mark on the world of fashion. In 1966, at the age of 32, Paco Rabanne unveiled his first collection, destined to forever change the course of fashion. 12 Unwearable Dresses. It was nothing less than a declaration of war against tradition. The event, held at the Hotel Georges V in Paris, was more than a fashion show. It was a manifesto of innovation. His garments, crafted from materials never before seen on the runway, metal, plastic, rhodoid, and aluminum, defied sartorial conventions, pushing the boundaries of haute couture. In a world accustomed to the delicate elegance of fine fabrics, Paco Rabanne brought the raw power of industrial materials to the catwalk, transforming fashion into a form of art that shook Paris and the world at its core. The 1966 show, 12 Unwearable Dresses in Contemporary Materials, was more than just fashion. It was a true sensory revolution. On that runway, Paco Rabanne unveiled his space-age aesthetic, where metal and plastic were transformed into living, moving art. The hypnotic rhythm of the models, perfectly synchronized with the music, amplified this futuristic vision, immersing the audience in an experience that redefined the very concept of spectacle in fashion. To assemble each of his creations, Paco Rabanne didn't rely on needle and thread, but on pliers and metal tools, bringing to life what he called the art of assemblage. His garments, inspired by ancient armor yet reimagined with a futuristic vision, were not mere clothing but true sculptures, designed to be worn directly on the bare body. The models, like living statues, celebrated the beauty of the human form, creating an unprecedented dialogue between body and garment. The runway became a stage where art and fashion merged, giving rise to creations that seemed almost otherworldly, captivating and provocative like nothing seen before. Criticism, of course, was inevitable. Coco Chanel, though not entirely convinced by his radical break from tradition, couldn't help but acknowledge Paco Rabanne's talent, ironically dubbing him the metallurgist of fashion. A label that, somewhere between sarcasm and respect, perfectly captured the essence of his audacity. And yet, it was precisely that audacity that won him the admiration of great artists like Salvador Dali, who did not hesitate to call him the second greatest genius of Spain, after myself. That collection, still shocking today, was more than just a success. It became the symbol of a new aesthetic language, one that fused art, innovation, and provocation into a single, powerful vision. But Paco Rabanne didn't stop there. His futuristic vision extended far beyond the world of fashion, leaving its mark on cinema as well. Although he wasn't directly involved in designing the costumes for Barbarella, 1968, his innovative aesthetic was unmistakably present. The outfits worn by Jane Fonda, including an iconic green ensemble, clearly drew inspiration from his creations. His work fused metal and plexiglass with the sensuality of fabric, creating an almost mystical vision that, while reflecting a technological future, also became a symbol of sexual exploration and female liberation during a time of profound change. Like the best fantasy tales, Paco Rabanne's garments transformed into true superpowers, capable of empowering and transforming those who wore them. With this vision, he not only revolutionized fashion, but also influenced pop culture and the world of comics, anticipating the armor and aesthetics of modern superheroes. After conquering the fashion world with his groundbreaking collections, Paco Rabanne brought his bold vision into the realm of fragrance. In 1969, he launched Calandre, his very first perfume, destined to become a true icon in the olfactory landscape. Its minimalist, modern packaging perfectly reflected his philosophy, where innovation was always at the heart of everything he created. With his entry into the world of perfumery, Paco Rabanne began a collaboration with Puig, the renowned Spanish company specializing in fashion and fragrances. This partnership became the springboard for legendary scents like Paco Rabanne Pour Homme in 1973, a true revolution in the men's fragrance market. But that was just the beginning. In the years that followed, Paco Rabanne created other olfactory icons such as 1 Million and Lady Million, fragrances that captivated entire generations with their unique personality and unforgettable allure. Each perfume reflected his talent for breaking boundaries, blending boldness with creativity to craft scents that were not only luxurious, but also distinctive and modern, making his fragrances enduring symbols of both luxury and avant-garde vision. In the years leading up to his retirement, Paco Rabanne expanded his influence by opening flagship boutiques in major international cities. Within these exclusive spaces, his collections of clothing, accessories, and fragrances were showcased, further cementing his status as a true fashion icon. More than just a designer, Paco Rabanne embraced the role of entrepreneur, launching accessory lines and collaborating with various brands to create products that reflected his bold, innovative aesthetic. His fashion house became a true point of reference, with creations that continued to challenge conventions as his name gained global recognition. The flagship boutiques evolved into spaces where every piece told the story of his unique vision of a modern, experimental world, an unmistakable symbol of luxury and avant-garde style. In 1999, Paco Rabanne announced his retirement from the runway, making way for new talent. Yet even in his absence, his influence remained alive, with the brand continuing to inspire through its unique aesthetic and fearless defiance of convention. During this time, Paco Rabanne turned his focus to writing and spiritual exploration, diving into mystical and philosophical themes. He published several books, including La Fin des Temps, The End of Time, and La Force des Celtes, The Power of the Celts, where he shared his vision of the universe and spirituality. These works reveal a more intimate and reflective side of his creativity, an artist's quest for meaning beyond fashion. Despite his worldwide fame, Paco Rabanne remained a man of mystery, carefully guarding his private life. Those who knew him speak of a captivating presence, brilliant, magnetic, and armed with a razor-sharp wit. Beyond the visionary who reshaped fashion, he was a man who found joy in simplicity and solace in the quiet rhythm of life, far from the glare of the spotlight. On February 3, 2023, Paco Rabanne passed away at the age of 88 in his home in Portsel, Brittany, far from the spotlights he had so boldly challenged throughout his life. He had chosen to live there, embraced by the stillness of the ocean, in a land that seemed to mirror both his visionary spirit and his lifelong mystical quest. His passing was not marked by pomp or grand celebrations. The ceremony was intimate and understated, just as he would have wished. Among those present were a few trusted friends and longtime collaborators, witnesses to a genius who had rewritten the rules of fashion. No display of extravagance, just a quiet farewell to a man who had always looked forward, anticipating the future with his revolutionary visions. Paco Rabanne has left a void, yet his spirit lives on. He was not just a designer, but a revolutionary who broke down the barriers between fashion, art, and avant-garde. His creations were never mere garments. They were manifestos of a future yet to be imagined. From his legendary metal dresses to his iconic fragrances, each work redefined the language of fashion and continues to speak to the world of tomorrow. Paco Rabanne's visionary spirit continues to inspire the world of fashion and beyond. He paved the way for a new approach to creation, where aesthetics and innovation merge into a disruptive language. Not just garments, but ideas. Not just materials, but visions. His impact reaches far beyond the runway. It lives in the boldest experiments, in the fusion of art and technology, in the search for new forms of expression. Every creation was an act of freedom, a step forward into the future. Paco Rabanne didn't just dress the present, he wrote the future. Thank you for joining me in exploring the bold and captivating story of Paco Rabanne, a visionary who defied conventions and revolutionized fashion with his futuristic spirit and limitless experimentation. His creativity broke every barrier and taught us to see fashion in an entirely new light. Stay tuned to Quotes of Style to discover more innovators who, like Paco Rabanne, have transformed fashion with passion, freedom, and vision. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next story.